Okay, we're recording.
Right. There you
Thanks for
go.
having
I
me.
do that every
I'm
time.
excited.
Hey,
Hey, bro. We're excited to have you here. Bro, what is up with you and those sunglasses, bro?
bro, I love him. I just got him.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, I think Olivia is glitching out. She's glitching out on mine.
Yeah, yeah, she glitching out.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
it might be catching up.
nah, man.
Bro, put the shades
Now,
back on.
now the glitches are all part of the podcast. You feel me? We're definitely posting
Exactly,
this too.
exactly. This is real,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? This is
We're not
authentic.
cutting this.
I can hear you guys, but I can't see you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
Really?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we just can't see. We can see you though. It's just
Guys.
glitched. It's just a bit glitchy. But Big H, what do you think about these sunglasses? These are fire. Just
Bro,
copped them.
those are so tough, bro. It's actually crazy.
Crazy,
Now, like
right?
when you put those on, I was like,
Nah,
I
I'm
didn't
him.
realize I was friends with this guy. Like he's him for real. Like
Him.
you're
You
a
get what
big
I'm
deal, bro.
saying?
You're a big deal, bro.
Why are you laughing at me, boy?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wait, Osmith might be back. Where you at? You got a new background going.
I'm in Boston right
Oh
now. I
yeah.
fly out. I
Wait,
fly
I'm
out
working on it.
tomorrow. Yeah, no
Do
worries.
I?
Take your time.
Oh,
Take
no
your
worries.
time.
This is all part of the podcast, bro.
Yeah. And guess what? Oh Smith, we're posting this too. Because
Yeah,
like we,
we
we
don't we
love this
don't
type
cut
of stuff.
This is
anything
good.
out.
We love this
Okay,
type of
how's this?
stuff.
Can you
Oh,
see
there
me?
we
Okay,
go.
you're back. You're back.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Boom.
All
Okay,
right.
sunglasses off. Sunglasses off.
Ah, bro, come on. Yes, sir. Yeah, he's so tough. Oh,
Okay.
oh
Okay, oh Smith.
no.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Hayden?
Yeah, Hayden, where's your sunglasses at? Huh? Oh, brother, what are those, buddy?
Oh,
Oh,
that hurt, bro. That hurt, Mike.
well, what are those? The Gregor 3000s.
Yeah, those are the Gregor 3000, dude.
Those are tough.
I hope I'll never. This is
Oh,
crazy. Oh.
That's
Uh,
tough.
all right. So let's get into it. So time to introduce O. Smith. Olivia is fellow Bates, not alumni yet. She's my year at Bates. She rode with not only my sister but also Amir for the semester he did it.
Boo!
And she's also a philosophy major. She's double, I think, in philosophy and Russian, right?
we don't have a Russian major, so I'm a Russian minor.
Oh, okay. Well, philosophy major as well.
Yes.
Amir's a little minor, but he's still in the group for
Why
sure.
you have to put the little in it? I don't like that. Might have to put my shades back on.
Bro. Did you get those for yourself?
Yeah.
Uh,
I just came back. So, O Smith, I was in the Dominican Republic for about a week.
Oh,
Doing
really?
a little, yeah, doing a little bit of kite surfing, a little bit of surfing and stuff like that, you know? So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, definitely. So I had to get
oh, he
these
had to.
shades.
He had
Had
to.
to, had to.
Bro, you needed those in the boat, bro, on the erg, on the boat.
Yeah, that's free speed.
Yeah, bro, that is free speed right there.
Free
That's
speed.
horsepower, bro. That's watts.
Buddy, you're not a rower. Like, stop trying to talk like a rower. Like, you're not a rower. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell him, O Smith. Like, he's trying to have like that rowing lingo. Not a rower, buddy. Come
The
on, man.
terminology was right. Hayden, you should say he's a Watt farmer.
Yo, you're a watt farmer. That is facts.
How do you call
With those
somebody
Yeah.
like, Oh Smith? What do you say when someone's like just not pulling their weight in the boat? Like, you're just letting the boat down.
What do I say to them or what do I call them?
Well,
oh, what do they
like,
call it?
what do they call them in rowing?
Um, I don't know. I don't think we've been fortunate enough to like not have that be an issue as far as I'm aware. So maybe dead weight is what I would call them if that were the
Edward,
case.
Okay, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. When I rowed,
Uh,
I was dead weight. I was
bro,
dead weight for sure. That's real. I was dead bait. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro, he's a
Nah.
catcher, bro. He's a crab catcher.
You gotta have
100%.
personality in the boat too. Sometimes you're more of a pulling your weight in terms of the mental work. And I'm gonna say that's what you are.
Hey, that was me on the soccer team, bro. Vibes guy, just personality
Yeah,
high,
Vibes guy.
personality higher, bro. We're not getting on the pitch. We're not getting on the water.
facts. That was
Yeah.
me too. You know. That
Um,
was,
but yeah, Osmith, great rower at Bates. She's currently doing the Middlebury language schools we talked about, so she's really like that at Russian and philosophy. We're excited to have her on.
Excited to be on. Thanks, guys.
All right, so let's
yeah.
get right into it. Um, all right, so I didn't prepare a quote of the day, so I thought we'd just go right into philosophy. We don't have too much time anyway, um, so for philosophy, I thought we'd talk about this idea of like open-mindedness in philosophy, because a lot of people say like being like philosophy majors and minor, um, we we often like say that like philosophy is like there's no right answer to like philosophical questions and theories. But how much of that do you think you are able to kind of hold with you while you're thinking philosophically? Like, do you ever catch yourself being like, this has to be the way to think about things? This has to be the best approach to life. Like, do you ever catch yourself doing that? And do you think that sometimes that's okay to do? Like all these philosophers that we read, like, they're pretty hard set on their like when they argue and that when they do their writing, like they are hard set on like their belief. And is it wrong to be that way, or should you be like fully open-minded and recognize that you're probably there's no right answer?
Yeah, I mean, I think the nature of asking that question is wanting me to give what I think is the right answer. And so I'll kind of say that I guess I've definitely struggled with like trying to figure out what the right way to live is. And I think that's like the nature of philosophy is that you are asking that question. But where I continuously end up is that there's not actually a right answer. And this is nice. I think a lot of things will fall back to rowing probably because I think I've found a lot of lessons in that. But we say that there's like no right way to climb up the mountain. And we just want like people joining the team to believe that this is like commit to the way that we're doing it. Because if you go up the mountain the way if you run around and try different routes up the mountain, then you're not going to get anywhere. But if you just commit to something, then I think that's how you get somewhere. And so that holds true, I think, in like things like religion as well. So um, I don't necessarily think that there's one. Well, I'm Catholic, but I don't feel that anyone else is wrong. And I think that is open mindedness is expecting that people are all going to the same place. Like the rightness or truth or whatever, or success in rowing no matter what route they choose. Does that kind of,
Yeah, a total.
oh, what are your thoughts on that?
You can go ahead, Amir.
This is why O Smith's a goat, man. Serious, like. No, I'm being so serious. Like this, I don't even want to go.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll go ahead. Yeah, this guy, bro. Um, I absolutely agree. I think that with all my like, bro, I can't take this guy, bro.
Yeah,
That- yeah, I think with all my like philosophical beliefs and like understandings of life, like because they're constantly changing too. I mean, with time, and so like I'm never, at least most of them are constantly changing. I'm never really like fully, like you're saying, I never think anyone else is wrong, but I think like what you're saying, it's important to commit to something and kind of like live by a truth. Just live by like something, like to motivate you in life or like one of our like core values here is like just like love and just like kindness and just like doing everything you can to help another individual. And like that's something it's just like a value of ours that we just live by constantly. And even though we recognize that like the world, we don't understand the world, and there's so many different ways to live. And it's not to say that anyone else is wrong. I think that we kind of believe that our way is the best for us at least. And so that's why we like fully commit to certain values or philosophical beliefs. And I think like you're saying that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've definitely, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it, where you're sort of running around looking for something and not getting anywhere. And I think the theme of that is like a lack of progress and really a lack of like making a decision. So for me, that was graduating high school and looking to go somewhere for college. And it felt like this huge decision where it was like choosing who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And I didn't want to tie that down. It was something that I was like, I'm so uncertain and I'm still figuring stuff out every day. So why would I want to make this decision that I felt like would define me? Which I ended up taking a gap year. That was a hugely great decision and helps with that, I think. But at the same time, it was a little bit of pushing the decision off, actually. Um, I'm happy with Bates, really happy with Bates. I think that was a good decision, but I also don't think it was a defining decision ultimately. And I think that's what I forget sometimes is that a lot of the times you're just going in one direction and you can change your mind and also change what you find in that direction.
Totally. I think also to connect back to what you said is like, I think religion's a great example because I fully recognize that like there's no anyone who follows a certain religion, they're not wrong because they don't believe what I believe. But that's not to say you can't fully think. It's like you can fully believe that you're right without thinking someone else is wrong, or like that
Yeah.
you following the right path for you and other people are following the right path for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we forget that there can be many paths. That's why I like the mountain metaphor so much because it makes
Totally.
total sense. Some people just, then when they have the mountain paths that loop really winding up, like I think on the West Coast, that's more common. And then on the East Coast, it's like you're going straight through like very steep inclines. And it's like everybody's getting there. Everybody's going to be tired at the top, but
Yeah,
it's just totally different approaches.
totally. What do you think of me?
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. Um, I would say, like from my perspective, I think like wrong is like intentionally hurting other people, like being harmful. Like that's kind of like what I feel is like wrong. I think when it comes to like ideas and concepts, I feel like if those ideas that you come up with cause like harm and difficulty to other people, I feel like those ideas can be wrong in a way. If that makes any sense. I think it's a way to share ideas and to get your idea across that like might be like touchy, but you can do it in like a loving way, if that makes any sense. I don't think
Hmm.
like I think tone is very important, like when you're sharing your ideas and thoughts and stuff like that. But I think anything in like an intentionally harmful way is like I think it's wrong.
Sure. No, I agree. But like, what would you say? Like, if we're talking getting in the topic of like morality, like, how do you keep an open
Mm-hmm.
mind? And like, some people don't necessarily see that way. Some people don't think that. Like, obviously, it's pretty agreed upon,
Mm-hmm.
but not always. Like, can you have that open of a mind that like you recognize that not might not be a correct value to have?
We're getting into it today, huh?
Bro, you threw the shades on me. I have to, bro.
I feel that. I don't know if this is gonna answer your question, but I think anything like I don't know. I feel like when you do like I feel like if you do something like wrong or you say something wrong, like you kind of feel that, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of know, like, like that didn't feel right. So I feel like if you're suppressing that feeling and you just continue to do wrong and like you're feeling that feeling, then it's like what are you doing? Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
I've heard a
answered
lot
you.
about, no, that's interesting. I think people talk about like what you said about suppressing your intuition. I
Hmm.
think that's very much a real thing. I think there's like studies probably out there, people at least smarter than me talking about it. Um, and I've heard that meditation is really good for that. Um, and just like generally, I think that tends to be the answer that people fall towards for things like figuring out your like life plan and stuff. I listened to a different podcast recently and they talked about that and how a lot of times we're just like told to adopt certain values that are not actually in line with our own. And that results in people just not realizing what they want in like midlife crisis at 40 or whatever. Um, I'm curious about you guys. Have you ever like tried that, or what do you find that works for you in terms of like figuring out what you want and what's right for you?
Yeah, I think for me, like I try to listen. I think like as we talk about listening is like most important thing in life, and being able to just listen to ev anyone and everyone. So I try to listen like thoroughly, like and truly hear every other perspective. But I don't necessarily always adapt things, like start like practicing them. But I think that I always give perspectives like a true like genuine thought, give like a genuine like analysis. But yeah.
Yeah. No, similar,
Yeah.
similar to you, Big H. I think for me, I am the type of guy where it's like, a type of person where it's like, I would try something, and as soon as like I feel like that feeling, like I always listen to my intuition. Like my intuition up until this point has like it hasn't done me wrong. Like it's helped me out a lot in life. So I always try to listen to my heart and not suppress what I feel from my heart. And that's why I try to always be curious about life and just be genuine and authentic. So when my intuition does tell me something, like I could understand and be aware of what's actually happening. But I do think that I'm sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts. Um,
Yeah. Market.
I'm sorry, Osmith. I can't look at Hayden like he makes me laugh.
Yeah. What?
But yeah, I do try to gather
Hayden, do
my
you have some
thoughts.
sunglasses you could put on?
Bro, I really need to find some, bro. I don't have like sunglasses. I'm not a sunglasses guy. I don't know why.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think where I'm going with this, like
That's
I
all
really
right.
try to listen to my heart and just try to be genuine and authentic. And I'm open to like trying new things. Like for example, in the DR, I tried kite surfing and I realized like this is not for me. Like I was eating a lot of salt water and I was really embarrassing myself
I
out
could
there.
see a
So
video of that.
yeah, see, why are you trying to be funny? Like we're being
I wish
serious
I
right
could
now.
see a video.
We're being serious right now, you know? So it's like
Oh
I
shit.
really like Smith, I like to try like new things and stuff like that, but it's like if I feel in my heart that it's like, okay, like this is not it. Like rowing, for example. I loved rowing. I thought it was cool, but I just felt like, okay, like next, like it's not really for me, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. And I think part of my mindset towards like trying new things has always been that the more data you collect on just like the more things you've done, the more you can notice that you like or dislike them and kind of like realize what that feels like. And also, the less pressure it is on you to do something. Like, I think that was why the college decision process was so intimidating for me, was because it's like the only time you're doing that. Whereas trying rowing. And I think it's interesting that all of us walked on to various sports at Bates at some time or another.
Yeah.
Um, because then trying one of those things, like your odds are okay. We got like a 33% success rate for really finding something you like. But I think it seems like you guys have also found things that you really like at Bates and like communities and things. Um, and so I think just getting your like hands out there, and like exploring what's kind of available.
Totally. I
by
think
doing that, then you learn
you're starting to glitch a little bit,
and
but
find things that you really love.
look at Amir's face. Osmith, you started to glitch a bit, but I think so I got the point pretty well. I would connect that to Amir's point because I'd say the more you're able to just like hear everyone out, try a bunch of different things, gain a bunch of different perspectives, just try new things, then your heart will have an easier time like leading you towards what you want to do, what you want to believe, all these different things in life. So like that's where open-mindedness is like so important. And I do think philosophy helps us back.
100%. Oh, Smith, are you back? You back?
Yeah, she's
I'm
back.
back, I think.
Okay,
Can you guys hear me
perfect,
okay?
perfect.
See me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is
Um,
that Livia? I heard Olivia, mate.
yeah, Livia's in the back, yeah.
Tell Livia come in here, say hello.
It's uh
Hey,
Yo,
you guys like my
what's
hat?
up? Yeah, that's
Hey,
cocky.
hi Olivia.
No hi Amir, no
Hey.
hi Amir is crazy. That's crazy.
The first time. Hi Amir.
You're my favorite Bernhardt. That's crazy.
Come
That's
back and
yeah.
crazy.
visit.
Yeah, she wants you to come back and visit her.
No, I'm not visiting.
That's bro, she said hi to you first. Um, all right, so that was a great segment. Let's move on to sports. So sports, Olivia, we've been talking about the NBA finals for basically every episode. I don't know if you watch like sports much, do you?
I have a great story about the NBA finals when we get a moment. I don't watch sports that much, but
Really?
um my brother and I snuck into the NBA finals in Indianapolis. So we've got the t-shirts and stayed for the whole game and stuff. This is great. You guys brought this up. I don't have much to say about the NBA, but I did see the game.
Wait. The real NBA final.
We did.
Wait, which game?
Um Wednesday night, like a week ago in
Bro, that's
Indianapolis.
crazy. Yeah, because you must be a Pacers fan, yo. We didn't even I
Yeah.
forgot that. What
Yeah, by association, but we follow college basketball really in
you
my
just snuck
family.
into the
So
game? How?
we did.
How do you get in?
There was a little, we got into us have tickets because we had found some pretty cheap ones on StubHub, cheap for the NBA finals. And so we bought those. Um, but then they didn't actually ever transfer the tickets. And so we were there with our Pacers gear on and ready to go and stuff. So we got past the initial guy that was asking if we had tickets by just saying like we're waiting on them. And then we got through security because that was they don't need tickets for that. And then you get to the actual ticket scanning and we were just kind of waiting, looking around. And I tend to think maybe this is the open mindedness that we're talking about, but I tend to think you can find holes in a lot of places. Um, and so on the left side, there was this little like mini staircase that was supposed to be guarded, I'm sure. And it led to the back of the store that was on the inside. So we just put our heads down, walked confidently. And I think that gets you a lot of places also. And got into this store and then like looked at each other and walked out of the store into the NBA finals. And it's just insane. We just kept thinking we were going to be followed and kicked out, but we made it. Found some open seats and stayed the whole game.
Wait, this was the all right, wait, not this past Wednesday. This past Wednesday?
No, it was the one before that. That's right.
The one that if it was, they must
God
have
bless you
won,
guys.
right? Game three?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Like,
The first one in Indy.
dude, that's crazy. Wow.
That's insane.
A
Yeah.
little bit. Kind of
Yeah, so
insane.
we made our predictions at the beginning of the with our second guest. We made the predictions we had, and it was Mateo said Pacers in six, so he was wrong.
No, no,
You
no,
said Thunder in six.
no. Uh-huh. I said Thunder and seven. Thunder and
Oh,
seven.
you said Thunder in six, bro. Don't even. We can go back and watch, bro. You said Thunder in six. I said Thunder in seven. Unfortunately, I do want the Pacers. I don't know.
And
I might want the Thunder.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Pacers
it's
are
good
gonna
that you
take
feel
it.
pretty open-minded about it.
I mean, if it was the
All
Celtics.
right, I'm with Amir.
Yeah, the Pacers are gonna take it for sure. Sure.
Bro, bro, you're completely switching up. This makes no sense.
No, no, no. Because it's like,
We can literally go back. I can pull it up right now. We're
so
like,
we,
bro,
we don't have much
Pacers?
time. You get what I'm saying? We can't afford Zoom Plus, so we don't have much time. You get what I'm saying? We can't afford that. So we
Yes,
gotta,
we can, bro. We
you
can
know?
talk about predictions for tonight. The game is tonight.
hmm
All right, so go ahead. What do we think?
Oh, Smith, what do you think about tonight?
You know, I would say the Pacers seem to have lost the trend of last minute comebacks. As far as I'm aware, in the last couple of games, it's been
hmm
just different kind of trajectories. They had the whole consistent game on what was that? When was the last one? Guys, I'm really not a huge fan, so this is definitely not my area of speaking, but it felt like there was more strong finishes earlier in the series and right at the end of them getting in as well. So I think it's going to be OKC. I'm afraid.
What? But didn't you just say the Pacers
Um,
were gonna win? Like, didn't you just say that?
I would hope they would, but in my heart of hearts, I'm not feeling it.
Yo, what are you doing, bro? Yeah.
I'm with him.
All right, so Amir, who do you think's winning? I still like you just keep picking. You just keep going back and forth, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna say it here right now. The Pacers are taking it in seven in OKC.
Bro, what? You,
Buddy, where's your shades at? Like you see what we're doing. Where's your shades at?
That's crazy. Bro, what did you say? I'm trying to find this clip, bro.
We don't have much time, mate. Like we can't afford. See, time's running out. Like this is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like we can't afford more time.
I want all the listeners, bro, that we have.
What's Hayden's take? Let's get it.
Wait, Osmith, you're glitching a bit. You're glitching. Um,
Yeah,
oh,
shout
you're
out O
glitching,
Smith,
but
man.
so bad.
Hey, that
You
Middlebury
guys,
Wi-Fi, you gotta talk to the mayor. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that
it's quite
Wi-Fi,
bad.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
telling you.
It's
But
quite
okay,
bad.
she's back. That's good.
No, here's the thing, bro. Everyone, I want to go back to speaking with number three, and you will see that Amir was saying the exact opposite. He said the Thunder would win in six. Now he's saying the Pacers are gonna win tonight away. I don't understand, bro. You were like pissed off that Mateo was saying that the Pacers. You were like, bro, are you insane? You think the Pacers are gonna win? That's what you said.
So what's wrong with me changing my idea? What's wrong with me changing my perspective?
Because bro, you
Yeah,
can't predict it. You can't act like, all right, if they do win, you can't be like, yo, I knew it from the beginning. Because now either way, you're gonna say that you called
no, not at all. Not at all. Not
it.
at all. I'm just saying, like, right, O Smith? Like, what's wrong with changing your idea, changing your perspective? Nothing.
I think we did have a full conversation about this earlier, Hayden.
I know. He's open-minded, but nah, bro. Because he wasn't open-minded. He was like pissed off that Mateo picked the.
Bro, I'm never pissed off. It's always love.
Yeah.
Like, like what?
All right. Anyway. All right. Let's get to the debate. We actually had our first kind of debate 2 episodes ago.
Big
Usually,
country.
usually it just comes into it more like an agreement than a debate, but we are going to talk about. I did it in the form of a question. So, would you rather, and you can ask a bunch of clarifying questions about the details, be able to, for the rest of your life, only talk or only listen? in the way that like you can't share your own perspective and like ideas and like feelings, or you can't like understand others and you can't like hear other people out the same. Like, do you think that one is more important than the other?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would sound like a bit of an asshole if I said talking. And honestly, that one feels not quite right. Because even in conversations like this where I sort of feel like I'm given more permission to talk or like I'm supposed to be heard more, it still feels wrong if it was just me like monologuing. There's only so much I can say. This feels a bit like the stuff that I, like talk to my mom about or other philosophically inclined friends or like write in my notebook. And it feels a bit overdone by the end of like an hour conversation. I'm like, I've said enough. I've kind of expressed what I always tend to think. So I think like Amir said earlier, it's very interesting and can be like impactful and good for your mind, I think, to hear lots of diverse opinions. And at the end of the day, it's interesting, more interesting than just hearing my own like monologue. So that'd be my vote.
So you'd rather talk, only talk.
No, I'd rather listen.
Yeah, listen, okay.
Sorry, that was not clear. I
At
think
the
it would
beginning, it threw
be
me off
boring to
when it
only
was at the
talk.
beginning, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's interesting for me. Like, I feel like I try to listen, probably like, I mean, it depends on the who I'm talking to. I always definitely try to listen more. I try to listen probably like 75% of the 70% of the time, like 25-30% speaking. In general, I mean, my senior quote in high school is from the Dalai Lama that here's the quote of the day. When you speak, you're repeating what you already know, and when you listen, you can learn something new. So I think that for me, like listening is more important, but like it's almost like it's essential that you can express yourself. I don't actually, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's only essential that you can express your like you can understand your own opinion or your own perspective and you can understand yourself and your feelings. I guess you don't really need to like express them to others. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards yeah, probably listening as well for me.
Sure. And Big H, I feel like you could express yourself like in other ways. Like you don't have to talk to express yourself, if that makes any sense. You know? Like I feel like body language is very important. Like back to my DR trip, I was kind of like a local there. Like I knew Spanish, you know? Like I couldn't speak it, but like I was just like,
No, you don't.
like stuff like that,
Oh,
like
all right, say something in Spanish for me.
just my hola, but just my type of
What?
and
What was that?
hola, hola, hola.
You said hola, bro.
But Big
It
H,
sounded
where I'm
good.
going, I'm saying it's good stuff, like good stuff. But where I'm going with this is like I just feel like a smile could go so far. Like a smile says so much, Like I just feel like body language is so important. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. But yeah, I
Well,
think
what if
listening.
we take out like any like communication? It's just like can you communicate with others and you can't understand others? That
Then
includes
like
body
what do you I think that's just very difficult, like taking out community like what do you uh,
language. Like you can't like understand like one is that you can't understand other people's perspectives and feelings and they can't understand yours. So like that includes body language, any form of communication really.
but I feel like that's what life's about. Like life's about like sharing
No, for
ideas
sure, but
and
that's what makes it hard. The hard would you rather?
I don't like this, man. I don't like this.
I think you both convinced me to not like this either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about connection. And that is a two-way street, even if we
Yeah.
want to pretend it's just
Bro,
accumulation of ideas and
Hey,
then producing something in there.
absolutely.
where you get this question from? You
I was just thinking about it.
okay, I respect it.
Yeah. I mean, we think about like, do you need that for connection though? Because like, like, do you think you're connecting with, like, someone can really connect with like an animal and they don't really know how the animal's feeling. They don't know how the animal expresses themselves. You know what I mean? As much as we think, oh, it's wagging its tail, it's happy. Who knows, you know? Who knows what's actually going on inside their head?
Hmm. Okay.
But then
I
you get
see.
into how can humans even communicate because we don't actually know what's going on inside each other's heads.
But I feel like we communicate, and this is where I think being authentic and being genuine. Big H, I see where you're going. Okay. But I think this is why communication is so important and like being authentic and like being genuine and like being kind and like moving in love is because like that's our way of connecting, you know? Like
Mhm.
think about me and you. How did we meet? I
Uh,
saw you on the pitch. No, I'm gonna tell you. I saw you for the first time. You was in goal at practice at like a little like just a little kickabout.
yeah.
I said, yeah, good job. And we became like you get what I'm saying? We became cool off of that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with O. Smith, but a little bit different. I met O. Smith through rowing, you know? I had a conversation with O. Smith on the bus in Boston. Do you remember that, O. Smith?
I remember that.
Communicating, you know?
Bro, yeah, connection might really be through communication. You're onto something, O. Smith, because yeah, like Amir, like in those situations, like, Amir's the new guy on the team, I'm the new guy on the team, and like someone was like, we're like talking to us, like we're having this nice connection and like making each other feel a certain way. And then like with your like best of friends or family, like when like they're up, when something's up and like you want to talk to them, make them feel better. Like there's those people that you talk to and like they make you feel better no matter what. And
Facts.
that's like, yeah, that's a form of connection, I guess. Like really understanding someone.
Yeah, facts. We
Hey,
got less than a minute.
less than a minute, so this is it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, still don't have Zoom Plus, so it's gonna kick us off soon.
Man.
Hey, well, thank you so much for coming on, Osmith.
Man,
Yeah, that was
thanks
awesome.
so much for
Thank you.
having me. This was really lovely and cool. It's great that you guys do this.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. We'll definitely see you around middle.